Lynn, if you could please, you're asked to unmute, Lynn. Lynn?
Okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
We can hear you now. We can hear you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So let me try to wrap this point up. I do think we're going to go back to the spirit of our founding fathers, our belief in the Constitution, our belief in the Declaration of Independence, our belief that we are a nation under God. Our Constitution is based on God's law. Hasn't been interpreted like that in recent years, has it? But I think we're going to get back and do, George Soros wants to do the Great Reset. I think God is getting ready to do the Great Reset. He's just going to flip the switch in the opposite direction of George Soros and the communists. So while George Soros wants one world government and communists wants one world government, God's going to give them one world government, except the head of that government is going to be God Almighty. I don't believe that Joe Biden will ever be president. I've never felt that way. I don't believe God will let a communist run this country. He might as well go ahead and put us into rapture, tribulation, and Armageddon. It's not time for that. So I believe that Donald Trump will serve 4 more years if things work out a certain way in terms of bankrupting the United States of America, Inc., and returning us to the United States of America, the Republic. Heck, we could even amend the Constitution and drop the 2-term limitation. We could have Donald Trump and Melania in the White House for 8 more years. Wouldn't that be great? So I think everybody needs to stay steady. We are in stormy weather, but we have the satisfaction of looking up from the back of the boat and knowing that Jesus Christ is at the helm, and he's going to steer us through the stormy weather. And on the other end, when we get there, we're going to, I believe, have some of the best years of our lives. So I would urge people to maintain hope. I would urge people to maintain and strengthen their faith in God. We love Donald Trump. My love of Donald Trump is in large part because I felt early on that Donald Trump was doing God's will for this country. But in the final analysis, as much as I trust Donald Trump in the real world, from a spiritual standpoint, I only trust God. Because we could have the greatest military, we could have the greatest president, but if God doesn't protect this country, our military operates in vain and our president rules in vain. The watchman, if God doesn't protect the city, the watchman waketh in vain. This country is going to be brought to its knees in the next several days. Maybe weeks, but we've already been humbled, and we're not humbled yet. Half of America doesn't even know what's happening because of the censorship. But I think God is going to humble this nation. He's the perfect father, and I think he's getting ready to deliver some perfect discipline. And he's going to bring us to a point where we look around, don't know who to trust, don't know who's going to fix it, and we're going to realize that the only thing that can happen is that only God can save us, and he will. So maintain your faith in God. Pray to God. He likes to hear from you, and know that you're on his team. And God, at the end of the day, is going to have his will done on earth as it is done in heaven. And I guarantee we're all going to find out when we get there that he rules heaven with an iron fist. What he wants done is done. So we need to sit back and remember, do our parts each day, but it is what it is. God doesn't want you to worry. That's why he tells you focus on today and enjoy it, because everything in the future is already planned. Worrying is not going to change it. It's like a rocking chair, something to do, but it gets you nowhere. So focus on the day, enjoy the day, understand that God is in control, and God always acts for good. So I hope that's a message that people will remember. I hope they will pray for the president, pray for our military. We're on the verge of war. Not just internally, the civil war, but we're on the verge and brink of war with China and maybe Iran. Pray for our president, pray for our military, pray for our country. God answers prayers. Every word in the Bible is true. Trust the Lord and wait on the Lord. Nothing's going to happen on anybody's time schedule except God's. Nothing's going to happen a second before or a second later than God Almighty planned it.
I've got everything up as high as it'll go, and that heater's blowing.
We're going to have to mute everybody right now. Okay. Dran, would you unmute Jen?